I guess it's time then.
There must be some kind of way out of here, said the joker to the thief. There's too much confusion now, I can't get no relief. Businessmen, they drink my wine, plowmen dig my earth, all of them along the line don't know what any of it's worth.
You're the MVPD, right?
Multiversal Police Department? Yes, sir.
You really think it was a suicide?
The gun was in his hand, sir.
And you don't think it could have been placed there intentionally to sell the lie?
Well, the entrance wound matches previous suicide records. So... Who the fuck is this guy? Give me this stupid.
Rex Gordon, private investigator.
This is a sealed area. How did you get in here?
Well, it's pretty obvious you can't keep a man from his work, especially when they're dealing with this kind of stuff for a goddamn living. Well, regardless, it was a pleasure meeting both of you, even if I didn't catch your names. Hey! Are you guys gonna say anything?
Say what, Rex? What?
This is the first time we've all been in the same place since the accident. Nobody thinks that's just a little bit weird? That Ezra Thorne's death brings us together?
I think you're reading into things a bit too much, Gordon.
Look, we all have at least one thing in common. Or we did. We were all there 7 years ago, when a wave of energy gifted us with extraordinary abilities. And now it just so happens that we're the only ones to show up to Ezra's funeral?
Ezra didn't have many friends.
Alright, I'm sure you all have your own reasons for being here. But the point is, you all showed up when nobody else did. And if my theory is correct, and Ezra was murdered...
Everything's a theory to you, Rex. You can't just accept the facts, you have to read into them.
He killed himself, Gordon.
Did any of you guys go to the crime scene? Did any of you guys see what I saw?
And what exactly did you see, Rex?
Ezra was at the top of his game. He had just defeated the demon Moloch, an enemy he had for years. He had a fantastic relationship. What reason would he have to throw it all away?
And that, my friends, is the very definition of grasping at straws.
Jay! You don't care if your own doppelganger's been murdered?
It's not my business. And it shouldn't be yours either.
It was nice to see you, Rex.
You want to laugh at my theories too?
Hey.
Something I can help you with?
It's just, I wanted to see your face. His face.
Hey, listen, I'm not him. For your sake, I wish I could be, but I know what it's like to lose a loved one, so...
It's just...
I'm not him, Claire. May I call you Claire? I'm his doppelganger, nothing more. But just remember, we'll always be right there. I'm going to go now.
Even after Ezra's funeral, I couldn't leave the matter alone. Yep, it's one of these stories I'll be narrating for all you slowpokes who can't keep up. There was something more to this. Why would every living person involved in the meta-human accident of 2013 show up to the funeral of a man they barely knew? Something wasn't clicking.
Was there a party here I wasn't told about?
Well, I'm just waiting for somebody. I don't know who these people are.
Yeah, don't mind us.
I'm gonna sit up, because the light is like in my eyes.
Alright?
What if we were all summoned here by the same person?
Sorry, what?
I said, I think we were all summoned here by the same person.
I mean, we just kind of like hanging out here. I don't know what are you guys doing here?
Well, who would want anything to do with us?
None of this makes any sense.
Does anybody have the time?
Oh yeah, it's 10 to 2.
I don't know about y'all, but I have places to be, so if this mystery person doesn't show up soon, I'm out of here.
If this person promised you the same thing they promised us, I think you'll stick around.
And what makes you say that?
If we were all called to the spot by the same person, they offered us jobs. Well-paying jobs.
I guess we're all unemployed then.
And in sore need of finance.
Yeah, again, we're just here. We have nothing to do with any of you.
Should we leave?
Whatever. I didn't sign up for a group project. I'm out.
I wouldn't do that if I were you, Miss Ackerman.
And who the hell do you think you are?
I'm the man who received the same job offer you all did, except my job is a little more immediate. I've been instructed not to let any of you leave.
Whoa, again, we have nothing to do with any of this.
We're just here. We were gonna have a picnic. I don't...
Shut up! Just shut up!
I'm a top-tier assassin, you cockney shit. I can take you easily.
Not so top tier if you're responding to any old request that comes your way.
Fair enough.
Besides, I was obviously chosen to do this job for a reason.
And what reason would that be?
Well, I have no idea. I'm as intrigued by the situation as the rest of you, which is, I'm sure you're very interested in what's going on here, but I need to get paid, just me personally. So henceforth, none of you can leave.
I mean, does anybody else think that we can all take him if we want to leave?
I don't want to die.
Yeah, I don't think I
Big
have
talk.
go at it.
Guys,
I mean, he's only got 8 bullets. What? We can just kind of like run. It's a Luger.
hey!
What the hell is that? I'm not sticking around to find out.
Hey!
Beans. That was the last normal moment of my life.
You're a detective, right?
That's what it says on my business cards.
Maybe you're not so crazy after all.
What's your end game here, boss?
I assume you're working on some sort of case about Ezra's death.
Yeah, I plan to look into it.
I want to help you out with it. I may not like you very much, and I may not be very good at deductions, but I think you're onto something.
You want to help me?
Yeah? Is that so surprising?
Well, I mean, yeah. You've always been the type to ridicule other people, not the type of person to participate in ridicule-worthy investigations.
Something just seems off about the whole thing. Suicide? Ezra? No way.
Uh-huh.
And that's not even the weirdest thing. I ain't no conspiracy theory wacko, but I think someone may be following me.
It began quietly. Raven, ever the peaceful one, chose to sideline the unrest growing in her mind in favor of the meditation that had allowed her to keep her abilities under control since the accident. Jade Ackerman, the assassin, kept waiting for a job that never came.
No jobs? Really?
I've told you time and time again. The market is low.
There's not a single person out there that wants somebody else dead? I find that hard to believe.
There is. They're not willing to pay. You might consider lowering your prices.
My prices are not the issue here. I am one of the best in the business. And if they don't want to hire me, it's no fault of mine. It's not my fault. Jesus. Rex Gordon can't be right. Ezra Thorne's death affected nothing. I went to the funeral as a courtesy. Nothing more.
I'll keep looking.
Sadie and Trevor, unlikely friends after the accident, went about their daily lives, unperturbed by my theory. To them, life was something to be valued. They didn't want to waste it worrying about someone else's.
Want to stop by the bar and grill? Lunch is on me.
You know how much I love their burgers and wine, but as tempting as that offer is, I don't think I can go for it.
Why not? You've never turned down a lunch there before. Hey, what's up?
Nothing. I'm just trying to keep a clear stomach.
Is something wrong? Did I do anything?
No. I'm fine, Sadie. Don't worry.
Hey, you don't look fine. Pale, stumbling. Well, you're either sick or... Never mind. I shouldn't have said anything.
Well, I'm not sick or anything. It's just, this is the first time I've seen Jay in who knows how long.
Oh, God.
What do you have against him?
I don't have anything against him. Did you go to the funeral just to see him?
No, of course not. I went to pay my respects to, that guy, Ezra.
Oh, you barely knew Ezra. You're not fooling anyone, mister. You know I only went because you went.
Yeah, I know.
What do you think about what Rex said?
I mean, we barely know the guy, so I would take everything he says with a grain of salt.
He's a detective though, right?
I don't know. For all we know, he could be some crazy guy who thinks every death is a murder. Ezra killed himself. Let's leave it at that. I wouldn't want either of us to get involved in something dangerous.
How are we gonna do this?
The investigation?
I feel like some Sherlock Holmes wannabe.
Well, if we make a breakthrough on this case, you won't be a wannabe anymore. Well, we're gonna start by looking into Ezra's death. If there's something we can't find on the surface, chances are it's important if he was actually murdered rather than a suicide. What I'm gonna do is start making a list of suspects. I'm gonna interrogate them. I want to make sure that it's like an interview. I'll call it interviews. Make it seem more comfortable for the suspects. And while I'm doing that, you should return to the scene of the crime. See if you can find anything new. Any questions?
Sounds good to me. Who's on the suspect list?
Well, everyone. You You and me included. Can't take any chances.
No, but I mean, who are we questioning first?
Well, my first thought was to investigate Vincent. He has an important, indirect connection with Ezra. We should check him out first. Vincent Kane lives with his girlfriend, Ellie, and his young daughter on Earth 9. I had to be careful here. Make sure Vincent felt at ease, at least enough to be truthful, but not that he was being threatened. The man has serious telekinetic abilities. As you'll see, I didn't do as good a job as I'd have preferred.
What do you want, Rex?
I just want to talk.
This isn't about some investigation, is it?
No. No, absolutely not. Can I come in?
It's probably best if we stay outside.
Okay. I just want to ask you a few questions to start. Before living with Ellie, is it correct that you lived with your brother Riker?
Yes.
But Riker was recruited by an old friend.
It seems like you know all this anyway, but no, I wouldn't call him a friend.
Bill Carrington recruited Riker to help catch Ezra Thorne and neutralize him before he became too big of a threat?
That's what he told us. I didn't believe him, but, look what happened to Riker.
Bill killed him.
The first time.
Sorry, what?
Yeah, don't worry about it.
You didn't hold Ezra responsible in any way, did you?
Well, you're doing a horrible fucking job of pretending this isn't part of your investigation, and you're not nearly as clever as you think you are.
Do you mind answering the question?
No, it was all on Bill. I don't think they ever even investigated Ezra in the first place, and apparently in the end, Ezra became a changed man. Not sure how much I believe in that, but then again, when I worked for the Parliament, I heard about all the awful things Ezra did in his golden years. Guess his reputation preceded him. How many questions do I have to answer before you get the fuck off my property?
Careful, Vincent. What would your daughter think of you using language like that?
The day that you get to tell me how to parent is a day that will never come. I'm a family man, Rex. Now what did you do with your life?
It was people like Vincent that had made me apathetic about the multiverse and its people. See, Vincent was known by most as a hero that had saved the timeline a few years ago, but he's different in person. What many people don't know was that it was Vincent that screwed up the timeline in the first place. Sort of puts things in perspective, in a manner of speaking. What? What just happened?
Do you think any of us know?
Yeah, really?
Oh! Oh!
The hell just happened to us?
Why would you think that I would know?
You seem to have more information than the rest of us.
You're whack, man. Ugh.
Is everyone all right? What are your guys' names?
Riker.
What the fuck?
I'm Vincent.
I'm Jade. I'm Sadie Duval. That's Trevor Cromwell.
Yeah.
The bros we were talking earlier.
My name's Raven. I don't know who this is.
And you?
Oh, J. Price. My name is J. Price.
Well, Jay, you've got some explaining to do.
I told you, I know just as much as you, maybe even less.
Well, something happened to all of us. Whatever was in that wave of light could have done anything to us. We all need to get to a medical center as soon as we can.
Fuck that, man. I can't waste my time like that. I have a job, I have a life.
Yes, I know, we all have lives, but that doesn't change anything.
Whatever.
Fine then, be obstinate for all I care. Anyone else want to recklessly throw their lives away?
Most of them didn't follow suit with my request to seek medical attention, but over the next few years, the majority began to notice that they had gained some superhuman abilities, probably from the accident. But that's a story for another time.
Hey, what's up? Did you find anything?
I did, actually.
Keys.
Right near the chalk outline. They could be Ezra's.
That's true. Anything could be evidence.
So I found something.
You definitely found something. Whether or not it actually helps with the investigation is something entirely different.
Okay, so what's next?
Let's rendezvous. I'll send you my coordinates.
Got it.
A building once used as a front for Dr. Tyrelius Jackson's evil sciencing has functioned as Ezra and Claire's base of operations for several years. After his death, Claire took some time away from it. She said it reminded her too much of him. In its basement were comprehensive files on all of Ezra's past dealings, as well as an exhaustive recreation of the Multiversal Police Department archives, going back all the way to the 1960s. Figured there had to be something in all of his many files that would give us a clue as to the perpetrators of his death. If indeed my hunch was correct and Ezra had been murdered.
First 7 shuffle, eh?
Jay! Don't scare me like that.
What I meant to say was, Ezra and I, we did more than one of those back in the day.
You worked with him?
Yeah, Ezra and I, we actually pulled off more than one heist back in the day, especially on Earth 7.
The short-term memory loss dimension.
Yeah, he was always such a twat. But, you know, he has suffered an abnormal amount of loss in his life. More than most and more than anyone should ever feel.
Parents died, right? And, his girlfriend?
Wife.
Oof. That's worse.
Yeah, you really can't help but feel sorry for the guy sometimes.
Yeah.
Which, you know, doesn't excuse his behavior, of course. You know, don't bring everyone else down with your pain just because you've had a shitty go of it, right?
I guess so, yeah. Why are you here anyway?
I figured you'd be here after your little speech at the funeral. You know, apologies for telling you off like that. That was a little rude of me.
A little rude? It's fine. I've been called crazy my entire life. Why stop now?
For what it's worth, I don't think you're completely crazy. You know, Ezra, he had so much to live for, and suicide would be his worst option, you know, if not far from his best. I just don't understand. There's definitely something there that we have to... There's definitely something there to find.
Exactly. You mind giving me a hand? I'd like to get through all of this by midnight.
That might be a little bit of a stretch.
Sure you can help, if you're up for it.
Why not?
What's the collective?
Well, Ezra, you mentioned them a few times, but never gave me anything specific. What's the context here?
Take a look.
I have never known the collective to be so sloppy in their work.
Bet Ezra wrote that.
Yeah, probably. It's, the collective, it sounds like some shadowy, science fiction-esque organization, you know?
Oh, also, what happened to Ezra's clone soldiers? He had like 100 of them to start out. So where are they now?
Rex?
The multiverse can be a confusing place. Everywhere you go, there's something new, something you've never seen. But everywhere you look, there will always be certain things. Anger, corruption, camaraderie, sadness. Memory. Death.
You've done exceptionally. Now, we can begin. Call the Multiversal Police Department and point them in the right direction.